see. Okay, here we go. So here we go on this Sightseer. Got a little bit of a delamination issue that we can finally get to now that we got it running. So I don't know if you can kind of see the problem. It's a little bit right here, all the way back. But even this side, you can see the whole thing's come loose. If you look back there, it's loose back there, it's loose back there, and I hit my head. So I guess first things first, just take everything off and same old, same old. Let's get this done. I'm just taking the AC apart. I just took the grill down. I don't know if you guys can see daylight coming through. That's really not uncommon on these Winnebago roof ACs. These bolts get really loose. So I can actually move the whole AC. So hopefully those didn't get tweaked too bad. They look bent pretty bad. I thought maybe it was just loose, but I think maybe it got hit. Maybe when it got towed. Maybe it's just sticking up a little too high. So there's that point and that point. All right, let's try to ride this guy and see how it goes. This one's gonna be a nightmare. It's pretty interesting. So that's off. I just have to get this AC off. Again, the AC itself just unplugs from the control box. On these Coleman, just undo these thumb screws. And then this whole control box will just hang down on the inside. That last one off. And this will just come down here and hang in place. You don't have to disconnect that. So again, nothing sticks to that 311 sealant. Winnebago uses that 311 silicone self-leveling sealant, and it's really high quality stuff. You'll notice nothing is sticking to it. So there's no reason to put anything back over the top of it unless it's 311, because it's not doing anything. So, and I've never had to reseal 311. So pull it up.
As you can see, it does not stick to the original sealant.
So it looks like there was some body work done on this before. Maybe this tore. There's the filler. And there's an awesome stick. I lost it.
See, it glued it to it.
It's quite the can opener you got.
It's new. Jeez. I hope they didn't glue it into the track like they did.
I think maybe it ripped here.
The crazy thing is why didn't someone do this get an insurance roof out of this job anyway?
I don't know.
This is definitely.
Does seem like Bondo though is a pretty good way to hold the roof edge down. What do you think?
Bondo and red glue. Same stuff we're going to be putting down on the roof. Don't fall off, Micah. That's why I'm leaning back. Get that foam out of there though, maybe. Stuck.
It looks like maybe this was repaired before. the strongest piece of fiberglass I've ever seen in my life. Could kill somebody with that.
Should be on a boat.
A big old boat.
Shrimping boat. Look at that fiberglass.
Well, that was a lot of work they put into this. I'm curious about the back history now. This is supposed to be the easy part. So that's a lot of clean out we're going to have to do on this rail here. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful.
Fill it with the wood.
Oh.
But there is fun. How do you hit both corners?
Has that one got the same problem?
Yeah. Is it bad?
Alright, so here we are. The old roof is off. That's what a motorhome looks like without a front cap. Let's go on the roof and take a look. And some difficulties with this one because somebody had done body work back here. So it really made it difficult to pull out this back section. It was all resined into the rail here. You have to do some repairs to the rail. Kind of see some screws are broken again. So let's go on top. There we go. So obviously the old material's off here. Doesn't look like there's any water damage whatsoever. So that's a great sign. And a lot of this roof stuck down pretty well. You can kind of see where it actually ripped the wood off. But then a lot of it did not. So the next stage is really just going to be replacing each Luan sheet, gluing on a new one, and rolling out the new material today. And I think we're making pretty good progress. Alright, so this is that Manus urethane, white urethane that they use on the roof radius at Winnebago that I don't like to use. But I haven't really even done anything on this, but I don't know if you can see how easily this just pulls out. So it doesn't stick particularly well anyways. So that's why I like using that Flex Steel. Not Flex Steel. What am I? Billy Mays here? ProFlex. ProFlex, that's what I meant. GeoCell ProFlex. Alright, I'm going to finish cleaning this up and then tape this side down. I don't always show this step, but I do like to try to put paper over the sides so the glue doesn't get on the awning, doesn't get on the sidewall. The glue comes off fairly easily with acetone or even adhesion remover, but not off the fabrics very well. So, got that wrapped with some paper. All right, well here we go again. We'll start with a 183. Rip off the old. Have to rip off the old deck. This should just separate up. There's some care, a little bit more care than that. Glue the foam, glue the glue on, put it down, and repeat. All right, this is just a reminder as you're pulling this up. Don't throw these away because you're going to need to know the placement of like these vents and those vents, and well, the TV antenna is not too difficult. Well, there you go, one panel's down. Roll this one out, and it's got a lot more to go, maybe 8 more to go. So we're starting the next one. Custer upgraded his lights to LED lights there too. It's pretty cool. Getting the 4th one put down here, and I think this is where he might have ran another wire. He did a good job getting that ran through the foam. Get that put on, and then making great progress. So there's a skylight panel up. There's a lot of wire in this one. Lamination's a lot of fun.
Huh?
So laminating's a lot of fun.
So much fun.
Well, we got the last piece off, and this is where the ladder rivets on, and you know what? Winnebago didn't put a piece of metal down here for the rivets to grab onto. So this was just riveted into 1/8" Luan and styrofoam. That was holding the ladder up. So, well, we'll put a piece of metal down there. Guess sometimes you get busy at the factory. Here's my piece of sheet metal. That'll just go right there. And now when the rivets go in, it'll actually be underneath metal, so the rivets won't pull out. And this metal will be underneath this luan, and so it spreads out that weight pretty well. It actually works as really good anchor points underneath a laminated structure like that. So glue that down, glue down the luan. There, that's down now. Now I just put the luan over the top. There it is, the last piece rolling back on there. Looking really good. So we'll do a quick little overview of what it looks like just with the new deck put on. I've got my universal marks for don't step here. It's going really well. The other roof wasn't in horrible shape, so it wasn't like some that have a lot of water damage to them. So this is looking pretty good. So have to find a middle line also, so we can do our middle line down the middle. That's why we call it a middle line. Thanks. All right, so we got the material on the roof. This stuff's a little bit thicker than what Winnebago puts on, so it's a little bit better quality, I guess. But if you'll notice the chalk line right there, that's the center line of the roof. Now we just have to find the center of the tube, or that material. That way we can roll it out, make sure everything stays centered, roll it back up, and start gluing it back down again. Just how we do. So I don't want to go crooked. So this is 110 inches. And we need 107, so we only have 1.5 inches on each side to play with. This is why you do this. See, we've actually secured it up front just with screws on the middle, but when we're way back here, look how far off the center we are. So now we just have to make an adjustment before we glue this down, because that's about 1 inch off. That means I would only have a 1/2 inch extra at this point.
Measure twice, glue once.
Wow.
So,
Looking up, we're looking pretty good still. Let's see if our last one works. Here's our last mark.
right.
There it is. Oh no, that seems pretty perfect to me.
Yeah.
All right,
You like
we're kind of good. Let's get this thing glued down.
You know what?
All right, time to laminate this thing. There's now the 440 glue. Spray both surfaces and apply pressure. Do this for about 28 feet. And then we leave it back. What do you think, Chad? It's only been 15 minutes since we last took the time.
Not bad.
All right, so there it is. The new roof is laid out. Chad's taking off paper on his side. I'm taking off the paper on this side. So that at least keeps the awnings from getting covered in glue. All right, I guess next step is to cut these to the right length and tuck them in. Then I can put the caps on. Our weather here is can't decide if it's going to be sunny or if it's going to be monsoon. I almost lost this roof because of that wind. Almost. Well, so we're ready to start cutting this radius. We got the new foam. We were missing some pieces, so I had to get some replacements. Like always, they always get blown out. So there's the radius foam. Again, you almost always lose this stuff. It's pretty inexpensive. There's the Winnebago part number right there. It's important. Well, there it is. We're starting the big cut. And then it'll just go right in the channel. Right there, it tucks in. But I think we got a lot accomplished in one day. Maybe 2 days. 1.5 days. So we do have the roof done as far as laminated and tucked in. So let's take a look at it. So there we are, all tucked in over here. All the way down. I'm not sure that these sidewalls are completely parallel with each other. We had to cut this like 3 times to get them cut right. But here it is. It's looking really good. It feels pretty solid. I still have to get the saw and cut this rear cap so I can put the rear cap on. But there we're at. So next step is get the front rear caps on and seal the gutters here. And then we'll cut out everything and put all the components back on. That is honestly more of the funner parts. I actually find cutting it out and sealing everything more of the fun part, because it feels like you're accomplishing more and the roof starts looking more and more like a roof. I cut the radius on the rear cap to meet up at the wall here. I just have to cut the excess on the rear that I left, so I wouldn't try to do this perfectly when I was laminating. Let's put it this way. I'm going to do rear cap, front cap after I seal this radius right there. But I don't want to make sawdust for the sawdust to get in the new sealant. So I'm halfway cutting this excess overhang off the roof. It's nice because I can just use a jigsaw and I can use the foam underneath as a guide. And right here you can actually see a cross section of the roof really well. This is really what the roof looks like. So you just have the ceiling fabric, Luan, foam, Luan, and then the Phylon roof material. So it's very lightweight, fairly strong. It's also got that bow in it. I think that adds a lot of strength. All right, finish cutting this. So I didn't point out that Eternobond was used on this rear cap unnecessarily, but again, this stuff is a miserable experience to clean off. That's another reason why I do not like Eternobond. So I've already been trying to clean this off for the better part of 20 minutes, and this is where I'm at. It just turns into this gummy mess. Gross. Well, I got the front cap to do now, and again I got another strip of Eternobond I have to remove. Have to remove all the old sealant on the front here and prep the back side to accept some more Sikaflex. So I guess I'll see you guys in about an hour or so. All right, so I'm pretty much covered head to toe in Eternobond goo. Kind of see it there. So this is going to be a fun thing to clean up. Got a bigger mess up there. I should have to clean off all of this goo. That's at least 3 more passes to clean up. This is the tape. Yeah, I still really hate this stuff. Okay, so I've got the cap ready to get put on. I marked out on the roof where the cap was going to go, and I've sealed behind this flap there on both sides, so it should get crushed and sealed pretty well. This butyl is actually the main seal. This Sikaflex will be adhesive, and it'll get smushed down, and you can kind of see it over here. So it also act as a actual water dam or seal to keep water from coming back this way. Underneath here, as you can see, this gets really quite dirty. We don't really want to seal it here, because if water does get into here, it's way out. We don't want to seal it and trap the water against this wall. All right, let's get this thing on. Okay, so I flipped this all around. Rear cap is on, rear ladder's on. And you get the front cap on just in case it does decide to rain. This is the one place I don't want water to rush in. So you can kind of see Winnebago's great steel superstructure turns into a not so great superstructure. And even though they electroplate, oh, not electroplate, but what do they call it? Powder coat their metal. I don't know. I'm definitely not a big believer in powder coating anymore. So I got to get this cleaned up so I can glue that back on, so I can get the front cap put back on. So there's a little bit of work putting this back together still. All right, I got a test fit up there. I made my mark on the roof. That's where my sealant's going to be needing to go. Have to get it on both sides of this flap here. Bring it all the way around the wall here, around the front, onto this rusted metal. And it should stick to where I've ground off. Then go inside, put the screws in. The screws are going to do all the real clamping power. So the new cap's pretty much in place. Everything's lined up, everything's oozed out. I just have to go inside, put all the screws down, and get it cinched tight, and then clean off the garbage. And there it is, oozing out. I got a lot to clean up, but that's the way it works. It's screwed in. That's what it looks like. Alright, well, I got the front cap kind of put back together. I'll hold off on putting the TV back in until I get all my connections made, especially on the satellite. I got some pilot holes put in to these vents. I'll start cutting these out. The AC out, the rear vent out, and of course the skylight out. Not to mention the bathroom vent. There's a couple of antennas I'm going to have to drill some holes for. And I think we're looking pretty good so far. And I got all the through holes cut through. So I didn't throw away my templates, so I'll use those to find where the sewer vents are and where the refrigerator vent are. So I'll just match those up with the holes that I could cut through, and then I'll mark out where my rest of my holes go. So with this template down, that lined up, that one lined up, I can see where that sewer vent goes, and that one goes, and I'm gonna get hit with this paneling. And then with these last two pieces, I have the AC hole and the skylight to line up, because that's where the refrigerator vent goes. It's always best to check and make sure the refrigerator is right there. And it is. If we look down on this side, the refrigerator door should be on the sidewall, and it is. Alright, and with that cut out, I think we're all set to put this roof back together. Well, here we go. All I'm doing is sealing up the rail here, and this job's nearly done. And we'll take a look at it. So again, we're just using ProFlex clear, jamming it down into in between the material and the rail, and then capping it off, because this is what's going to hold that edge down, keep it from hopefully flopping out in the wind. And this is what you should definitely be inspecting every year. Well, so here it is. It's not quite dusk. It is pretty late. So I wanted to get this done because I'm going to be washing this next week, and I want to make sure all the sealant is finished curing, at least as much as it can. And so I want to give it the weekend to cure, basically, and obviously. But this is it. We got all new vents. I don't know why anybody would replace the roof and not replace all the vents. It doesn't make any sense to me. Obviously, you don't replace the antenna unless it's broken, satellite unless it's broken, AC. Oh, this one was broken, so we did replace that one. Or skylight. Skylights can be pretty spendy. But here it is. I think it turned out probably it's one of the better jobs I've had my hand in. There it is, a brand new roof. All right, so there you have it, another Winnebago roof replacement. And this is one of a handful I've done from out of state, where people can't find these be done in their home state. This really surprises me. It's not like I'm highly skilled on this. It does look good though. I appreciate anybody willing to drive all the way across the country just for me to work on their motorhome. Thanks a lot, guys. There you have it, 2004. Sounds about right. Winnebago Sightseer, 30 foot. Don't know the model number, but there it is. Brand new roof. All right, guys, we just finished up. Whew, that was a big job. It was a hot day, a hot week. It was hot. It's hot. So it's all finished up. Let's take a look at it. Look at some of our replacement parts here. That was a different job. That was a new antenna. Ugh. But here I did save the old roof radius where it got body worked. Added about tripled the thickness to it. This thing is hard. You can kind of see on this one how thick it is down there. So I guess if you have enough glass and enough Bondo, you can probably fix your radius also.